Hey guys, it's Nick from F150LEDs.com. Today we're here with our Gen 3 2021 and up Ford F150 Series Raptor, and we're showing you how to make an excellent upgrade to the fog lighting here. Now, we appreciate that Ford gave us this OEM fog light pocket option, but unfortunately the lights are just insufficient. It doesn't give you any width or distance or even light up close. So we're gonna install our Cree Spartan Series LEDs. It's gonna be a tri-cube setup. It's gonna be extremely bright. It's gonna give you that distance, that width, and full field of view of light that you need to make this Raptor safer and perform better. Plus, it's gonna look fantastic whether the lights are on or off. It gives it a great aggressive look here. The installation's easy, and we're gonna show you how it's done right now. Sincerely, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it, and we don't want you to miss out on any of the great content for your Ford truck. All right, let's get back to the video. The first thing that we want to do is get our Spartan ready to mount to our new fog light bracket. So you're going to notice that we've got a full IP68 enclosure here, but not only do we have front-facing Cree XTE chips, but we've got 3 side-emitting reflectors on both sides as well. So you're gonna get that depth and distance as well as that full field of view light. So it's a fantastically designed light that's gonna give you maximum light output. You're gonna run about 60 watts. So you've got 12 5-watt Cree XT chips, so 60 watts at about 12 volts in your truck, so about 5 amps per light. So they're built to the highest grade standards. They've got pressure relief valves, all blacked out hardware. It's gonna look fantastic on your Raptor. But first we need to connect this C channel to the light itself. That way we can attach it to our new bracket. And what you're gonna do is slide your C channel with the C's facing out towards the front, down here. And then we're gonna use these bolts to come through the side and connect to these nuts here. So you just press down on the C channel, just like so, until they kind of line up. You'll be able to see it in person probably better than on camera. And then we're gonna take one of your blackout nut here. We're gonna slide it down into that channel, just like so. And then we're gonna take our bolt, slide it through the side. Once it aligns, we're gonna go all the way through this C channel, and then use the included Allen wrench to tighten it on that nut that you just dropped into the channel. And once that's tight, we'll repeat for this side and all our remaining lights, and we'll be ready to attach them directly to the fog light bracket. So this is the back side of our fog lights, and we're here on the driver side. So what we're gonna do to remove this plastic covering is there's 4 10 millimeter bolts, one here, one located here, one here at the top, and then there's one here on the edge, okay? So there's those 4 10 millimeter bolts, and then there's 2 additional Torx 30 star bit bolts, one located here and another located there. And then we also need to remove this 8 millimeter bolt, because we're gonna move this support bracket arm out of the way. So we're gonna start with this 8 millimeter bolt, and then we'll remove our 4 10 millimeters and our 2 Torx 30s, and this cover will come right off, and it'll expose the fog lights that we need to remove and allow us to reinstall our new bracket. Now that we've got our fog lights free from the truck, we need to disconnect these 2 harnesses. One is our aux 1 connector, and the other is the fog light switch from inside the cab. So to connect these red clips here, you can push down on that, and then we're gonna pull that red clip out all the way. And that's gonna release this tab here and allow it to be depressed, and then you'll be able to disconnect your connection. We'll do that for both connectors, and then we'll be able to remove the fog light assembly here. Now we can remove the factory fog assembly away from the bumper of the truck. Now we can install our custom tri-fog bracket here, right back into the place where we removed the original fog lights. So the first thing we're gonna do is line up our hole here with where this control arm, or the support arm bracket, excuse me, was installed using that 8 millimeter screw. So we're gonna put the bracket here, level with the top of our bumper, and then we're gonna line that support bracket back, and now we'll install our 8 millimeter bolt. With our first 8mm bolt here, 80% tight, let's go ahead and grab our Torx 30. You can use your 10mm bolt as well, but we're gonna use Torx 30. And we're gonna attach this other side of the bracket here. Again, using those sheet metal bolt carriers. Take our Torx 30 screwdriver here. It's a little awkward to get to, but. And then we'll go ahead and tighten that down 100%. We're gonna make sure the top of our bracket here is lined up with the top of our bumper. It's gonna make sure our lights are aligned once we get our bracket fully tightened. Okay, now we can mount our first light. We're gonna use these 4 spacer washers here. And as you install it, it may feel when you're underneath the truck here that it's angled, but it's actually not. So you're gonna want to line your light up like that. And then we're gonna take our spacer and lock washer here over the top of the bolt, and then use our 1/2" nut just to lock the light into place, like so. Now, there's adjustability here in the top C channel bracket here. We're gonna go ahead and put ours all the way in, like so. And then before we get it tight all the way, let's go ahead and get our other lights, and once they're in place and they're positioned how we want them to be, we can use that 1/2" socket or wrench to tighten these nuts all the way. For our second light, we're gonna be utilizing this middle hole of our bracket. And after we get that light installed, we'll be able to use this outside hole for our third light. You might wanna peel this liner back just to give you extra room here. But let's go ahead and get our second light installed. We're gonna do it just the exact same way that we did on this first light. So same 4 spacers, insert it into the bracket up like that, so. And then we're gonna work our spacer and our lock washer and our nut over the top. And then again, once all the lights are exactly how we want, oriented how we want them, we'll be able to use our 1/2" wrench to tighten them all the way down. Okay, so we've got our Spartan lights installed and they look fantastic. You'll notice there's nothing protruding out of the bumper. You wouldn't want that. And the blacked out hardware helped give it that kind of stealth look inside the bumper. They look fantastic. You're gonna love these things. But first, we've got to get them hooked up for power. Okay, so we've got our thermal heat resistant braided harness here with our fully IP68 waterproof connectors that we're gonna be using to power our lights. Now, we're not gonna be using the AUX1 or fog light harness that was already located here in the pocket from the original lights. We've got other plans for that, but we are gonna be utilizing the AUX switches from the truck. So we're gonna be utilizing 1 AUX switch per pair because we wanna be able to control the innermost lights or the outermost lights separately. Now, you can run multiple sets off a single AUX, but in this case, we're gonna run 3 different AUX switches to control each pair. And we're gonna show you how to run the harness right now. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is run one of our legs of our harness down through the engine bay. There's a great spot here beside the headlight assembly, and you'll be able to go straight down all the way through to our fog light assembly. If that feels too tight, there's multiple other areas that we can drop through as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop that through, and then once it's through, we'll be able to connect it to our lights at the bottom. Okay, so once we've got our lead run through the engine bay and dropped out through the bottom right here, we're gonna connect it to one of our lights. So you're gonna wanna make sure that when you're connecting your harness, you use the same light on each side. So we're gonna start here on the outermost light, and we're gonna take our IP68 connector here, lining up our notch. There, you see it on camera. And then we're gonna push in all the way, and then bring our lock ring collar over place and screw it all the way down. It's gonna compress those rubber seals, making sure that we've got a full waterproof connection, like so. Now we can drop the other side of this harness for the passenger side, and we'll route our other 2 wires. Now we're gonna do the same thing here on our passenger side for that outer light, running the other lead of our harness down through the engine bay, where we'll be able to get it at the bottom. Again, making sure we pair the same light here on the outside. We'll do the same for the connection here. And then we'll run our other 2 harnesses to our other 2 pairs here. Okay, to connect our positive leads from our harness, we're just gonna go to the positive terminal here on the battery using a size 11 socket. Lift that nut. Like so. Take the nut off. And then we'll put our leads over this positive terminal. Press down. And And we'll put our size 11 nut back into place. Make sure that it gets firmly tightened all the way down. We can repeat and connect our ground side to the ground side terminal by removing the size 10 millimeter nut and placing our terminal connections right over the bolt here and putting our size 10 nut back in place. We're going to want to tighten it down all the way. Make sure none of our connectors come out. Okay, now let's get our relay connections here ready for connection to our aux switches here on the Raptor. So what we're going to be using is our easy T-tap connectors. This makes connecting the wires to the existing harness of the truck, like the aux switches, extremely easy. So how they work is there's this opening here on the end, and we're going to insert our yellow wire, and maybe blue on your harness, into that end, and then we're just going to squeeze down. You'll hear it click into place. So that means it's firmly connected. And now we'll be able to use this side to connect to our aux switch. So let's go ahead and put our T-taps on each of our harnesses. Make sure you hear that click. One more here. Make sure you're not blocking your shot. These are extremely easy to use. Okay, so now we're ready to make our connections to the aux switches themselves. Okay, you'll be able to locate your auxiliary wires here on the passenger side and the engine bay right beside your battery. Now there's two bundles. You'll want to use the bundle that has red tape. Okay, that's the active tape. And then we'll put the auxiliary switch colors for this year model on the screen, but you can check it inside the screen's manual, and it'll tell you which wire colors coordinate to which switches. Okay. So to use our easy tap here, we're just going to slide the auxiliary wire into this open channel and then put pressure down like so. So you'll notice this yellow with orange tracer. We're going to connect one of our harnesses here. So you just put the wire right into the T-tap connector there. And then we're going to take our pliers and just put the firm pressure down on it, just like we did prior. There you go, if you can see that on the camera. Just squeeze down. You'll kind of feel that click into place. Yep. Okay, and that's all there is to connecting to the aux switch. And again, we're going to be using 3 different wires because we want to control each of our pairs of lights independently, but one switch can control multiple lights if that's your preference. Okay guys, that's all there is to installing these incredible Cree Spartan fog lights on your 21 and up Ford F-150 Series Raptor. We guarantee you're going to love them. They are fantastic. Even when they're off, they give the truck a great look. They're going to work great on your Raptor. Even if they didn't include the original fog lights, the installation is going to be exactly the same. You can check them out, as well as all of our custom built LED lighting products for your Ford Raptor at F150LEDs.com. Thanks guys, we really appreciate your support. Look forward to seeing you there.